What if the romance of the Mediterranean met the soul of the American barn? What if tradition and sunlight, stone and steel, olive groves and open skies could live under one roof? It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? A place where ancient whispers of the old world drift across fields of modern possibility. Imagine waves, relentless yet gentle, crashing against sun-warmed stone. And far away, a barn silhouette glowing at dusk, standing as both guardian and sanctuary. Tonight, we step into that meeting place, where old-world charm and new-world practicality collide. This is the Mediterranean Barndominium. It begins with a feeling, warmth, a home that doesn't shout, but sings softly, inviting you to slow down, to breathe in the air that smells of herbs and fresh earth. The terracotta roof tiles glow as if they've been kissed by centuries of sunlight, while walls of soft stucco hold stories in their cracks. Heavy wooden doors arch gracefully, like invitations to step into a world that's both familiar and brand new. Inside, space stretches open, yet never feels empty. The barn's wide beams rise proudly overhead, grounding you, while cool stone floors carry a calmness that only the Mediterranean knows. Each detail becomes a dialogue, strength of the barn meeting the soul of a villa, the rustic and the refined holding hands. This is more than architecture. It's philosophy, a place built not for rushing, but for savoring, where kitchens turn into feasts of laughter, where courtyards invite you to linger longer than you intended, where the play of light and shadow across a wall feels like poetry. The Mediterranean Barndominium is not just a home. It is a reminder that beauty doesn't come from choosing one story over another, but from daring to weave them together. The barn gives it strength. The Mediterranean gives it soul. And together, they create something timeless. So the question is simple. If such a home existed for you, what story would it tell? Mediterranean architecture has always been more than buildings. It is a way of living, an embrace of sun and sea, a gentle reminder that beauty can be found in the simplest of details. Terracotta roofs that seem to glow at sunset, stucco walls that stay cool beneath the summer heat, arches that frame the sky as though every doorway is a painting. Courtyards fill with citrus trees, their blossoms releasing a perfume that lingers in the air, a quiet promise of slow mornings and shared meals. These homes are not built just to shelter, but to gather life within their walls. And then, there is the barn, the humble, steadfast barn, wide beams stretching across space with quiet strength. Open layouts designed not for decoration, but for function, a place where utility shaped design, and in that honesty, created a beauty of its own. A barn doesn't pretend. It stands as it is, practical, generous, unadorned. Yet in its simplicity lies a freedom, a canvas waiting to be reimagined. Now imagine the two, these worlds, so different, yet destined to meet. The Mediterranean, with its romance, its warmth, its timeless elegance. The barn, with its openness, its structure, its enduring strength. Together, they form something extraordinary. Picture a Tuscan hillside villa, standing with centuries of grace. Now, strip it to its essence, stone, sunlight, arches, courtyards. Then, widen its shoulders, give it the sturdy backbone of a barn, a frame strong enough to hold new possibilities. That is where this journey begins. It is not just about walls or roofs. It is about marrying soul with strength, tradition with reinvention. The warmth of the Mediterranean meeting the grounded nature of the barn. And in that union, we discover not only a new kind of home, but a new way of living, where practicality and poetry walk hand in hand. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. The first impression of a Mediterranean barndominium is not loud, it's timeless. From a distance, The roofline catches the light, clay tiles glowing as if each one has stored a piece of the sun. That golden warmth lingers, soft and welcoming, like a promise before you even step closer. The walls, dressed in whitewashed stucco, carry a quiet elegance. They don't demand attention, but invite it, glowing in daylight, then softening into pale shadows as evening falls. Along them, wrought iron balconies curl gracefully outward, their dark silhouettes etched against the light, casting patterns that shift and dance throughout the day. And then, the heart of the barn reveals itself, but not as you expect. Those massive barn doors, once symbols of utility, are reborn through Mediterranean eyes. No longer just flat slabs of wood. They arch upward, softened by curves that feel both strong and graceful. The familiar presence of a barn door, yet touched with artistry, with soul. This is where the magic lies, in what feels familiar, yet entirely new. A farmhouse reborn with the heartbeat of the sea. You see the strength of rural America, sturdy and dependable, now wrapped in the romance of old-world design. It's as though the winds of Tuscany whispered to the fields of the Midwest, and together they created something neither could have made alone. The exterior becomes more than shelter. It is invitation. It's a home that tells you to slow your step, to pause in its shade, to trace your hand along walls that feel like they've existed forever, even if they were built just yesterday. And yet, for all its beauty, for all the warmth it radiates, this is only the beginning. Because while the exterior welcomes you, it is inside where the story truly unfolds. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. Step inside, and the world shifts. The threshold feels like a pause between past and present, where the hum of the barn meets the song of the Mediterranean. The air is lighter here, carrying a warmth that feels alive. The first thing you notice is the openness. Courtyards seem to breathe within the walls, drawing sunlight inward, scattering it gently across mosaic floors. Patterns of color ripple beneath your steps, catching the glow of the afternoon like fragments of the sea brought indoors. Above you, beams of timber stretch across the sky, dark with age, sturdy with purpose. They hold the soul of the barn, solid, unwavering. Beneath you, cool stone soothes the soles of your feet, whispering of faraway villas where life has always moved a little slower. Together, wood and stone create a rhythm, strength and serenity, rustic and refined. Every doorway becomes a frame for another story. A curved arch, inviting you to linger. A corridor washed in golden light, pulling you forward as though it has secrets waiting to be found. Even the smallest corners feel deliberate, shaped not by chance, but by centuries of inspiration. Here, nothing is rushed. Everything has meaning. The senses awaken in this place. You can almost taste the herbs tucked away in terracotta pots. Rosemary, thyme, basil, each one carrying the memory of sun and soil. A faint breeze carries with it the sweetness of citrus blossoms, while somewhere beyond, the steady hum of cicadas drifts in, grounding you in the rhythm of nature. It feels like walking through a memory you didn't know you had. Familiar, yet foreign. Rooted, yet free. The barn gives space. The Mediterranean gives soul. And together they weave an interior that feels less like a house and more like a living story. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. The true soul of a Mediterranean barndominium doesn't live in its walls or its ceilings. It lives in the spaces where people gather, where life unfolds in its simplest, most beautiful form. The kitchen is not just a place of function here. It's the heart, the anchor, the pulse of the home. An oversized farmhouse table stretches across the room, worn smooth by hands and stories. Its surface gleams with Mediterranean tiles, each one painted with patterns that seem to carry whispers of distant shores. Around it, chairs wait not for formality, but for the comfort of family, of friends, of anyone who enters hungry for food or connection. On open shelves, terracotta pots stand like quiet guardians, holding spices and herbs, their colors warm and earthy. There is no excess here, no unnecessary polish, just honesty and the kind of beauty that comes from being lived in. Here, meals aren't cooked, they're celebrated. Bread torn by hand, olive oil glistening in the light,